Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you just want to run, like run very, very far as you can? Then you're going to want to tune in and watch this episode of Inside the Roar. Welcome. This is Pastor Esteban Nunez reporting from Roar Studios inside Mueci Church, Kissimmee, Florida. And I want to thank you and welcome you to our show today, Inside the Roar. Please make sure to like and subscribe our channel on YouTube and also follow us on our podcast. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram platforms. Have you ever been in a situation where it's just overwhelming, overbearing, and the only thought that you have is to run? You want to run so far and so fast that you want to be just like Forrest. Run, Forrest, run. I go to 1 Kings chapter 19, and we find a man by the name of Elijah. Elijah being a prophet of God, a messenger of the Lord. And he had got himself into a situation with Jezebel. Jezebel was in power, and she wanted to kill this man. So this man, he fled from her. He ran far away. This man was hidden from everyone, isolated, all by himself, and all he did was he called on God and said, God, you know what? I'm tired of running. I'm tired of my life. I really don't want to live anymore. He got into like some miserable state. He was kind of depressed. He was just tired of all these problems. Have you been tired of all your problems and you just want to look for a solution? Well, you know what? The solution is not in running. The solution is turning your attention to God. See, Elijah called on God, hoping that God would end his life. But in reality, what God had told him was, through an angel, said, you know what? You need to get up. You need to eat. You need to get out from where you are because I'm not done with you. You have a long journey ahead of you. See, some of us think that we're at the end of the rope, that we're in a dark tunnel and we don't see that light at the end. But I just want to let you know, if you just hang in there just a little longer and use that time to call on God, you're going to see God is going to respond. Is going to say, you know what? Your time is now. Your time to move. Your time to get up. Your time to do something is now. It's not time to run anymore. It's not time to separate yourself. It's not time to hide and isolate. It's time to be bold. It's time to come out and be courageous and do what God has called you to do. See, Elijah ran because he feared Jezebel, and he asked God to end his life, but God said, I'm not done with you. You still have another assignment. There is still more that God wants to do through you. And Elijah understood that, okay, if God has something for me, well, I need to find out what it is. And so he asked God, what do you want me to do? And God told him, I need you to stand on a mountain. And when he stood on this mountain, see, he was hiding in a cave, and God had to get him out of that cave. See, this man didn't need to be in a cave. He needed to be a voice to the people. So God brought him out, and as he stood on that mountaintop, certain things had occurred. Certain supernatural events transpired and took place. See, you know, the earth shook, and the winds blew, and fire fell from the sky, and he thought that he was going to find God in all of those places, but he didn't. Where he did find God was in a whisper. And what did God whisper? God whispered a simple instruction that he needed to go somewhere, because in that place he was going to find a young man by the name of Elisha. See, the problem was that Elijah was already hoping that God would just end his life, but didn't understand that God still had a purpose with his life, that God was not done with him, that the mission wasn't over. In fact, the mission had to continue, because in 19 we see that the instructions that God gives Elijah to find Elisha so that he can anoint him to be the next prophet. So God was not going to end this man's life until his assignment was fulfilled. See, whatever you're doing that you're about to give up, I just want to let you know, don't give up on your own means. Don't make the decision on your own. Make sure that when you finish is because your assignment has been fulfilled. It has been completed. But if you're not certain that it's been completed and that you meet the criteria of your assignment, and that you fulfilled every step of what you've been told to do, then you got to understand that maybe God is going to feed you something so you can get up and continue to move forward. See, the whole story of Elijah finding himself in a situation where he was hiding and he had ran far, far away from his problems was that God, no matter how far you go and no matter where you hide, God will find you. And if God is not done with you, there is nothing that one can do until the assignment is fulfilled, until the mission is complete. See, God has a purpose with each and every one of us, and we got to just make sure that we're in alignment to His word, that we are fulfilling each step of the process. Every step has to be fulfilled and completed so that when we get to the end of our mission in life, all things are fulfilled. See, it's not time to run. It's not time to hide. It's actually time to stand up and be the man and be the woman and be the child and be the servant of God that God needs in these times. The world is full of darkness. There is so much chaos, destruction, and disasters occurring. What God wants us to do is be His voice to the people. So I ask you kindly and with all of my heart that you get up, be motivated, be encouraged, but most importantly, be empowered and go out there and fulfill the mission. It's not over until every step has been fulfilled. You are Elijah of this time. Make sure the mission is complete. Don't abort and don't abandon. Stay tight, stay firm, all the way to the end. God bless. Thank you for tuning in. Inside the Roar, produced by Teck Speks. Make sure to like and subscribe. God bless.